Come with me this morning and we've got a 2011 Volkswagen Passat alltrack. As a lot you can tell, I'm doing a DSG service on it. But before we start doing it, there's a few things that we need to check. Before we carry out work on the vehicle, we need certain conditions that need to be met, and one of them is make sure that the temperature of the gearbox is below 45 degrees. So let's go on to our live data and we can see we're at 10 degrees. Let's make a start. Now, to make this job just a little bit easier for you, you need to remove the airbox, and you should be able to get a 24mm socket on a long extension, preferably 3/8, and we can get that oil filter off. And there we go, that is the oil filter out. Just leave that resting now in a lovely little receptacle. Just put a little rag over where the oil filter goes because you don't want any debris falling in there. Now let's sidetrack for a minute. Now I've got the belly panels off, I thought something was a little bit fishy when I took the filter out, and it didn't have any markings on it whatsoever. And as you can see, it has been awfully damp around this area here. So I'll get my 14mm now. I'm getting ready to undo this unplug, and it is literally finger tight. So what I am going to be doing, I know that this gearbox takes about 5.2 to 5.5 litres of oil. I'm going to be measuring it in a clear receptacle and see how much oil comes out of it. Now when you're removing the drain bung, you should get a little bit of oil that seeps out, like that. Now we've let the excess drained off, you need to get yourself an 8mm. Now these little filling tubes in here, they need to be removed, and they should be literally finger tight, like a sun plug. Anyway, once this is removed, a lot of oil will come out. Now as you can see, I've drained the oil out and it's literally just dripping. I'm not worried about the little drips. But as you can see, that is my 5 litre mark there. So we're probably about a litre short on the oil. That's probably why the gear changes are a little bit sloppy. Anyway, let's get the fresh oil in. Now when you're putting these filling tubes back in, it literally needs to go in, literally, hang on, covered in oil now, it's slipping. It needs to be literally finger tight, and that's it. Now to fill these gearboxes up, you do need a gearbox filling tool, and it comes with special adapters which screw into the box, which will allow you to force that oil in. Now because this is only a 3 litre, I can only put 3 tubs in at a time, but we pumped it up to pressure, and then all we've got to do now is release that little lever, and that'll squirt all the gearbox oil in. Beautiful. Now we put the first 3 litres in, we know for a fact that this gearbox takes 5.2 to 5.5 litres of oil, so we're just going to top the other 2.5 up now. And there we go, now all the fluid is in. As you can see, we've got air coming through. We can just switch it off, like that, to stop all the fluid coming back, and we can get the brand new sun plug back in and torque it up to 45 Newton meters. Now we need to put the new oil filter in, and on the oil filter housing, what I like to do is have its own little service history book. Just write the date on the side of the housing, and then you know exactly when it's been done. Anyway, let's get it in. Now we're in the car, we need to get the car started and hold it into gear. Each gear for a minimum of 3 to 5 seconds, keeping your eye on the temperature. And what that does, that gets all the oil around all the gears in the gearbox. Then once we've done that a few times, now we need to check the level of the gearbox, and it is a bit of a faff, to be honest with you. You've got to get it at a certain temperature. As you can see on live data, we're getting it nice and warm now, 23 degrees. And when it's full, it is a bit of a faff. That's what I'm showing you on this computer, really, because I haven't got time. That's the fill tube, and the oil went. Oh, my bloody GoPro died. Anyway, I've literally got to get the oil level absolutely bang on, and hopefully that this car will be changing gear as smooth as butter. Anyway, for now, let's get it sent.